Welcome to FurCast episode 377. I'm your host, Paradox the Red Wolf.
I'm your Tiger Maruski.
We have a heated debate of Jell-O, jam, and marmalade.
And preserves, and yeah.
And I'm your host, Pharaoh.
Our pre-show is very,
I don't want any Jell-O, jam, or blueberry jelly.
I'm just not in the mood for any of it. I don't care what you call it or from what region. I'm just not in the mood for jam right now.
Oh, then there's apple butter.
What the fuck is apple butter?
An apple jam.
Welcome to FurCast episode 377. So, let's see what announcements we have. Nothing. There's really nothing going on. But we're going to do a show anyway. I should mention, though, before we jump into our roundup, that there is
Well, there's apple butter versus apple jelly.
There's no show next week because I'm going to be very riskily visiting a few people to help produce virtual Anthrocon, which I'll talk about more in the roundup. But there's going to be no show because it's going to be happening at the same time as our show, and it's just going to be a really busy time.
Why don't you tell them to change it?
Because it's when Anthrocon would have happened?
Tell them to change it.
Yeah, I suppose it's not like they have any hotel contracts that they have to fulfill, right? You know,
we have an existing contract to be on every Saturday. They don't have an existing contract this year.
Speaking of our contract to be on every Saturday, FurCast is sponsored by TwinTailCreations.com. You can check them out, TwinTailCreations.com, and we also have coupon codes where you can save 15% on their adult silicone products, and they've got all kinds of stuff on there. They are shipping during the COVID crisis, and we will talk about them more later on.
Do you have my footage yet?
I told you to remind me at the end of the last show, and you never did. So
I think I did.
I'm going to put that one on you.
I think I reminded you. I'm pretty sure I reminded you.
Not after the show. I don't think you did.
I reminded you at the end of the show.
I mean, I also forgot to even render FurCast after the show, which is why it took so many days to post, because I had to render it a couple days later. But anyway.
I demand my dual-wielding dicks.
I will render them after the show. I
want to know how many shows that you've said that.
I don't know. Somebody will count.
I want my dual-wielding dick footage.
All right, before we jump into the news roundup,
it is a rarity.
Anything else to mention?
Yes,
Nico is visiting. Well, he's at a family member's house who's out of town dog sitting, so that's why Nico's not here. And Areo, I don't know where Areo is. He's probably grazing in a field somewhere because he's a bull.
The EU just banned all U.S. travel.
I thought they had already done... Oh, no, that was right.
They were thinking about it.
Oh. Except to EU citizens, I assume.
I'm assuming there's a quarantine.
Yeah, probably like a 14-day quarantine.
All Americans. I think Canada's going to be next.
Well, Maruski's probably going back to Canada next week because...
I don't know.
Well, he's a dual citizen, but he has to quarantine for 2 weeks in order to go back.
Yeah, I have to quarantine myself in Canada.
Yeah. Once you get there. So I'll give you a hug goodbye and I won't see you for a couple weeks. But, oh well. It's the right thing to do, for that. But, yeah. All right. Let's jump in and get our news stuff out of the way. We might do a shorter show tonight, guys, because there's really not much going on. We got the roundup, but I don't think there's too many other stories, so we'll kind of see how far we go tonight.
I changed that.
Oh, you did? Did you find stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. All right. Welcome to the roundup. The roundup is the segment where we throw a bunch of links at you that you can check out on your own after the show when we post the episode, which usually takes a few days. It is basically our rapid-fire news segment, and we're going to run through a bunch of stuff that might be relevant to you, or should be relevant to you, or hopefully is relevant to you. I usually try to pick things that are like, furry-related and stuff like that. Anyway, roundup. First thing in the roundup, Virtual Anthrocon. Live stream will be right around the 4th of July weekend. I believe it starts the day before that.
It's a terrible weekend to have it.
But we'll have a final date next week or so for everybody. Submissions are on as well for a fursuit dance comp. So there's going to be a virtual fursuit dance comp. I don't think that one's happening on the 4th. I could technically look in the staff chat for the schedule, but I just don't have it pulled up right now. But anyway, stay tuned to Anthrocon's Twitter because it also might be changing at any moment.
Do you have to compete?
What? With what?
The virtual dance comp?
Do I have to compete?
No. Is there like an AI that judges now?
No, we're going to have judges. The dance comps are going to be pre-recorded, but I think the judges are going to be live. I think is how we're doing it. I'm not 100% sure. Next, The Fandom, the film about the furry fandom by Ash Coyote, as well as Chip, and also Ash, furry filmmaker on Twitter. So it's literally Ash and Ash. And by the way, their production company is called Ashes to Ashes.
Where's Dust to Dust?
Anyway,
Can we make a company called
Ash
Dust to Dust
and Ash,
and team up with them?
The two different people named Ash are making a film called The Fandom, and
your sponsors, Ashes and Ashes and Dust to Dust.
It is going to be out. And
Collaborative effort.
You can stream it for free on YouTube July 3rd. And we've got an article from Flayraw about that as well, including a link to their trailer. And then we've also got a link on YouTube to the full thing, where it's going to premiere in 5 days. So you can actually just watch it right on YouTube. So we'll have that link in the roundup so people can check it out.
Hey, why don't we just stream it?
Because that's July 3rd.
Okay.
So I don't understand what you're saying.
Just stream it as the FurCast episode, The Fandom.
I'm not going to be here.
And isn't that technically taking away their...
Yeah, I'd rather...
Yeah, views.
Yeah, especially considering they're trying to get on Netflix and stuff like that. So
they already have Netflix.
I don't know.
Release. I'm pretty sure. I think so.
I have not seen that confirmed anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of, if you are interested in purchasing a physical copy of it, which I'm sure people after they see it probably will, they have a website on store. I think it's thefandomfilm.com. I want to say it's a movie. But they don't ship internationally. However, you can get a Blu-ray copy that does ship internationally on Etsy. It's $14.99 for the Blu-ray pre-order. So you guys can check that out. Next, John Oliver featured furry porn on his show, because of course he did.
Hey, hashtag White Lives Matter racists. Look at my fursona's knotted ottercock. Thanks, smiley face. Which is excellent. Hey!
So that was in reference to people trying to kind of flood all of the white supremacist shit that was on social media with irrelevant things to try to just make it impossible to use.
That furry? Who's that?
We'll find out in a second. But so John Oliver showed the art piece, and you can see the Twitter account is Radiant Otter on Twitter, which I believe is now a locked account. And we actually have the tweet on archive.org, because I believe the account went locked originally, but this was the tweet here.
Oh, hey, I wonder why.
Yeah. They then turned around and wrote a piece on Furry IRL on Reddit saying, my fursona's dick was literally on national television. And it basically just goes through all of the stress that they went through. Apparently, they did not know that this was going to happen. They had no warning of it, which, by the way, is pretty typical because it is on public Twitter, and they're just showing it, and they're also showing the source and everything. It sort of constitutes fair use also because of the format of that show. So that's very common that a lot of times, for for inclusion like that, they generally won't reach out in that way. It's not like when you have a video on your Twitter and, CNN wants to use it in an article or something like that. It's not quite the same thing. Because it is commentary, it meets fair use. But either way, they had no warning, and they were...
Oh, I'm sorry that your tweet went viral and you had no warning.
Well, they were pretty freaked out because they got a lot of flack initially, but they actually feel pretty good about it overall, because... Eventually, positive people came out of the woodwork and thought it was awesome. And it was also really cool to see the fandom portrayed positively with porn, which is pretty cool. Because most of the time, you can't get away with that. So I guess, thanks, John Oliver, for doing that.
Because our porn was fighting racism.
Yeah, because our porn was fighting racism. But anyway, next, furry migration had to bump to next year.
Packed. Time for the road trip to furry migration.
So, needless to say, they've rescheduled for next year.
Great ad, though.
So it's rescheduled for September 2021. For anybody going there.
Yeah, pretty much no cons are happening this year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyone who thinks that there's a con happening this year, sorry to burst your bubble, but yeah.
Speaking of which,
October is not gonna. It's not happening.
Speaking of which,
now the U.S. now, highest amount of COVID. Yeah.
Furvana also
day.
canceled with much disappointment. We have to announce that we are postponing Furvana 2020. So they've confirmed that Furvana 2021 is a go for September. Also September.
I mean, it's kind of
2021.
nice that we're in the only state that took this seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
we are one of the few states where the COVID cases are actually going down, and I believe we're lower than when we first started lockdown.
we had.
We're doing pretty good.
I think yesterday was 3 deaths. Like that was it.
In the entire state. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as much as
yeah.
our New York governor is kind of, he's got his issues. He did a good job
He's a
with the
good
lockdown.
dad. He's a good dad.
Yeah.
Daddy Cuomo.
Daddy Cuomo. So we mentioned this previously on a roundup that Telegram is going to be adding secure video calls. They have more than 400 million active users now. Now, this article is from back in April, but the reason I'm mentioning it again now is because the beta releases of Telegram, which I've got a few friends
It's very
that are in the-
convenient, to compete with Zoom and be since you're like the major platform that
That's
has
the idea.
400 million monthly subscribers, that you would just make an ability to make a video group chat, like because you already have video calling, and it's like imagine just adding more to those calls that already exist, and then you wouldn't have a sketchy company like Zoom for all your meetings.
To be fair,
But you could also make like a secondary Twitter or Telegram, because you can have alternate accounts now too.
yeah,
So you could have a business account
yeah,
for your Telegram, and
Okay.
things could actually have
yeah.
you know.
Except that to make an alternate Telegram account, you need an alternate phone number, which not everybody knows how to do that easily.
Well, people have worked phone numbers.
Also, in my opinion, Telegram is maybe not equally as sketchy as Zoom, but is definitely sketchy. If we're gonna, it depends on what your threat model is, obviously. But if we're gonna talk about like the encryption and stuff like that, it's like I don't know. And Zoom has also done a lot to improve their image by deploying like end-to-end
paying?
encryption to everybody. But no, they changed that. They changed
The pay to encrypt.
They changed that. Which again, like, does that make them look good? The fact that they had to change it? No. But Telegram's also had their own sketchy issues. So
I miss Skype.
I hate Skype.
I miss old Skype.
Yeah, old Skype
I
is
miss
good.
old Skype, not this new bullshit Skype. Old Skype was nice.
Yeah. Telegram is adding that. I'm not sure about other apps like Signal and Wire and Matrix. I don't believe Matrix has any video calling. But either way, the reason I'm mentioning it now is because the beta versions of Telegram that are out, which a few of my friends are part of the Telegram beta program, it is actually available there. And one of the ways that they can tell is by going into the diagnostic menu. By the way, fun fact on iOS, I'm going to hold a phone up here. I'm going to hold it slightly sideways because I don't want people to be able to read stuff. On iOS, at least, I don't know about other platforms. If you tap settings down here, if you just keep tapping settings, it goes into a secret menu, which is a secret diagnostic menu that lets you do all kinds of interesting things. And I just realized I probably could have just streamed the screen of my phone onto the video feed, but oh well. I think you have to tap settings. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12. So you just literally just keep tapping settings on iOS.
You sure it's 12? Can you try again?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12.
I think you went too fast. I think it was 11.
Anyway, you tap settings a bunch of time on iOS. I'm not sure about Android, if Android has a
Sometimes you get false
diagnostic menu
information.
for...
You know how that spreads real fast.
Yeah. It's 11 instead of 12. People try it exactly 11 times, then it doesn't work, and they're like, oh, you lied. Anyway.
I wish the grouping worked well, so you didn't have to have the all group, though, so you can just have like separate groups when you look in your Telegram.
I mean, you can do folders. Have you tried that?
Yeah, I mean folders, but like not having the all folder. Like you could, as you take away from the all, it like...
Oh.
So you know where things are organized into.
Yeah. You might be able to suggest it to them. They have like a help chat. Like they take suggestions from people all the time, or their Twitter too. They're pretty good at Twitter at replying. But I don't know. I don't actually use any of the. I don't even archive chats. I'm the type of person where like if I can't keep up with the group, I leave. Basically. Which is unfortunate because it means I can't be in some groups that are probably cool, but...
Yeah, merge to the chat. You join it. You get like 2,000 messages every hour. It's like,
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, there's definitely chats where like I do just kind of scroll past a lot of the stuff where I swipe to mark as read. But like,
But hear me out. Because, like, let's say your friend messages you,
Yeah.
your close friend or someone who is important to you, and, like, those Mercer group chat or, like, other group chat just takes over, and it takes the message away from you.
Yeah.
It would be
Just at the
huge.
person.
I guess.
I don't know. Next, I have no reason to shout this out other than that I just thought it was kind of cool. This artist drew a thing called Ampwave, which is a new species that is going to remind you a lot of protogens, but it is essentially like the whole speaker-based, sound-based creatures, I guess, which is kind of neat, and I thought I would just kind of shout it out because
Oh god, it's a nightmare.
protogens need competition.
All I can think of is just furries with boomboxes, but now like the fursuit has just tons and tons of speakers all over it.
What's funny is the few fursuiters that I know that have speakers all over them don't make any sound.
They can make sound, they just choose not to.
They just choose not to. Well, I think they're sound-based. Maybe they receive. Maybe they're microphones. Maybe they're spying on you. Did you ever think about that? Maybe that's what we have to worry about. But anyway,
I
it's
don't like the connector tail.
it's at Slumber Yote on Twitter.
Thanks for using
Is that a
3.5
TRS jack?
meter.
I think what bothers me is that it looks like it's just a TS jack, which means it's unbalanced audio. I'm not happy with that.
Yeah, that's what bothers me a lot.
You got to have a TRS jack if you want to do it right, or an XLR connector though. That would work
Especially
too.
if you've evolved that far. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think you'd have that kind of
I
jack.
feel like you would. I feel like you would evolve a balanced audio connector, not an unbalanced audio connector. Anyway, next, an article from thestranger.com that was making rounds
I think it would be
this
fun to
week.
read this one.
Yeah, actually, maybe we should read this one. It says, "Can being a furry protect you from coronavirus?" And they actually name
I
dropped
say yes.
a furry who actually works for one of the companies that is developing a coronavirus vaccine or trying to develop a coronavirus vaccine. So it's an interesting article. Maybe we'll read it in a little bit. And then finally, last thing in the roundup, we've been shouting out various kind of online events and virtual like furry conventions that are happening. This is another one that was pointed out to me by some people, and it's called nonstop.world. And it, I believe, is a virtual Minecraft-based event that's going to be taking place. And apparently it's the second one. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about who is running it. Well, except for, I guess, all these names that are popping up on the screen right now. I guess that's all of them. It's a lot of names. Oh, okay.
For those who cannot afford the VR system.
Yeah.
I saw Nas Hyena and Tech Fox.
Worth mentioning, by the way, since some people don't seem to know this, you can play VR chat without a VR headset. It's obviously not as immersive. It's obviously maybe not as fun and maybe not to the point of the game, but you can play VR chat just like a normal computer
Second
game.
Life?
Like just, yeah. Basically like Second Life, if you want to participate with people. So like, because every once in a while I hear people that are like, I wish I could play VR chat, but I don't have a VR system. It's like, if you just want to go in and like audio chat with people, and like look around, you can do that.
But I just want to invest in a new VR system since I have the fucking original like after launch date. So
That's the end of the roundup.
I don't feel like spending $1,000. Over $1,000.
And then you gotta get trackers for each of your limb.
Those aren't that bad. You only need them for your feet. You already have your hands.
What about your waist?
Oh, true.
I think you have to do your waist and
Yeah,
then
I
your
thought
feet or
waist is
something.
pretty important because like if you're doing like any hip
I think
movement-
Linus Tech Tips ended up doing that. That 2 doesn't work. You need 3, but then you also need another space station.
You also don't need full body tracking. I mean, personally, especially with something like VR chat, I would get into it at a basic
I
level
wouldn't get
first.
VR like full body tracking for just VR chat. I'd get full body tracking for other shit.
Yeah. Other games and stuff like that. What other games use full body tracking? Like, can you like kick stuff in a game or something like that?
I haven't researched all of the games that use full body. It's going to be a lot more in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Then you have the taste one.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with the VR stuff in a while, although a lot of my friends are into VR chat. They're actually... Oh, by the way, since a couple people also asked, there is, I believe, going to be a VR chat component to Virtual Anthrocon. I know there's going to be like a space, and I think Fur is running it. They actually have like a virtual, like it's literally Anthrocon's convention center, but made in VR chat. I don't know the details, but I'm sure it'll be announced. But that's not the whole thing. Most of it is going to be just like a live stream with fursuits dancing and stuff like that. So You don't have to have VR chat or be a gamer to enjoy Virtual Anthrocon. But yeah.
Gamer.
Gamer. Never heard that joke before. Anyway,
You forgot to, the article that we've
Yeah, the
leveled
furry.
up. We've leveled up to you know.
oh, are you gonna read that?
We could read that.
I'm good. I
I just wanted to say that we leveled up. Like we finally got reached like true crime in the furry fandom.
We had talked about that in the roundup the last 2 weeks, and I just didn't. I don't know. If people are interested in this, let us know, because we can possibly like talk to Boozy about it too. But the article that we're about to talk about, we'll see. Anyway, actual furry news apparently.
You know what really grinds my gears? Money laundering.
Money laundering.
We've now updated to crimes. You need like a furry crimes division.
Instead of anime crime, you've seen Anime Crimes Division, right?
Yes.
On YouTube, it's so good. I love Anime Crimes Division.
It's now not a woos that are being fined. It's actually like criminal theft.
Yeah, this is serious, guys. These were charity awoos.
Capital management problems cause closure of Capital City FurCon.
Can we just mention really fast that capital is such a weird word?
They took a lot of capital out of the charity.
Yeah. Let me see. I feel like it was in this chat. Hold on. Somebody mentioned it. Here it is. So by the way, shout out to Tanneru
Who said wrote this too.
Who said this? Who wrote that? Said, it's times like these that I realize Capital has so many diverse and seemingly unrelated meanings. What's up with that? The man was arrested for capital murder in the Capital Tay when they tried to liquidate their capital in a plan that was not quite so capital.
Capital T.
Thanks, Tanneru, for that. We got to have Tanneru on the show once COVID isn't a thing.
COVID will never not be a thing now because the U.S. We're in the dumb timeline.
I don't know. Maybe all those people will.
We're in the dumb timeline.
Yeah, we are in the dumb timeline, but.
There was a college humor episode on that.
Oh, I don't want to watch it. I've had enough trauma just from going to npr.org.
So all of you international viewers, yeah, U.S. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing so hot.
Well, our state is fine for now.
Yeah. So here's the map, by the way.
Yeah.
So on screen really quick, just so everybody can see. So if you see an orange state, that means it's up by 100% or more. And if you see a bluish state, that means it's down anywhere from 50 to 100. So you notice New York is right here. We're kind of okay. We're starting to go down.
This was 2 weeks ago, so it's lower.
Yeah, this
We're
one
now
is out of date. Yeah. Or no, this was yesterday.
No, it's fine.
New day of the cases versus 2 weeks ago, and then the data is as of yesterday.
I think it's being automatically updated.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in some database.
Yeah, they're saying up or down
By 2
compared
weeks.
to 2 weeks. And as you can see, the Tri-City area did a good job, and that's about it.
That's why Canada wants to keep their borders closed.
Hey man, Puerto Rico's doing pretty good.
Uh,
Connecticut's doing pretty good. Yeah. And the overall rate, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so New York, you can see that we're past our little peak here. But other states are not doing good. Cases per 100,000 people.
well, that's a good way to
Yeah.
Try Florida.
Try Florida. Let's see. Where?
Florida man.
Oh, there it is.
Speaking up.
Yeah, it's going up. I'll start going through all these. Anyway, continuing the article.
Yeah, we haven't. So this isn't the peak of all those states. And just international viewers, they just decided to reclose. Like yesterday, a lot of these, and it takes like 2 weeks to a month to show. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
There's no U.S. cons this year. No. 2020. Capital City FurCon is closed to any future gatherings and its premiere in January 2020 due to financial management. Staffers came forward to discuss the issues caused by the chair's financial maleficence, and guests have reported that the honored guests who were promised compensation were also left out in the cold. The greatest grievance, though, is that they alleged that the charity they were raising money for, the ALS Association, also were not given any of their money. ALS has gained infamy in the fandom due to the disease that took the late Tony Barrett, dog bomb, and many conventions over the year have been raising money towards the research to find a cure since.
Here's the graph that went viral, by the way. Yeah. So anyway.
That tweet, though, it is impossible to express through words, actions, or any form of media the level of disdain and disgust I feel towards this country.
Yeah, and then
it is per million people, so it's
this is
actually
per million.
reflective of like each country size.
So it's actually reflective of per capita. Also, and then shout out to Cinder Collie, who tweeted, "Everyone called us healthcare workers heroes and praised us, but refused to wear a mask or social distance. Could have saved us all the trouble and flipped us off instead. Would have saved time and energy." Wow. Yep.
Is it an asshole if I say, like, before people went in to get medical care, they were like, "Did you wear a mask?" when warned, and they just vote no? They go to the back of the line. kind of your own fault. I mean, I don't mean to be negative, but it's like if you buy a gun and then shoot your own legs off, not just one. Just, yeah. United States.
We're number one.
We're number one.
We're number one in COVID cases, guys.
I
should get tested.
I think Brazil's not doing too good right now
Brazil's
either.
doing-
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's true.
they also aren't a completely first world country, and don't have a stable government and more hospitals they can. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're not political experts, so we should move on.
Just. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
I am. Just. It hurts. More information can be seen on the global furry television coverage on the below video, which is transcribed below. There's a global.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel. We've shouted it out before, I believe.
How long ago?
A while ago. It was one of the YouTube channels we shouted out. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
You know, there was a global furry television program.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was another thing for Roundup. Did you see the billboard for Pride?
Oh, yeah, what the fuck? I totally missed. I'm sorry. I actually should have had that in my roundup. I just never opened it. I'll put it in the roundup later, though. But if we go to...
Breaking
If you go
news.
to London Fur's Twitter account, furries were celebrated on Pride. Let me find it here. Let me find their official tweet. Was it this one? Here we go. Here's the actual London Fur's tweet. And yeah, awesome stuff. They were featured on a giant billboard.
It's that lion.
Yeah.
What's that lion's name? I forgot his name.
The Dare Lion.
I want to say it's Tamari. I forget their name, though. Yeah. The Dare Lion. But yeah, London Furs and Piccadilly Circus.
Dare to be
And it's
drug-free.
Pride in London, the whole thing. Yep, it's Tamari. It's right there on the screen. But yeah, so shout out to London First for getting a awesome.
You should wear a shirt that says "Dare to be different."
Dare to be different. The Dare Lion. Tamari, you should do that. Tamari,
It kind of does remind me.
yeah. Let's check. I feel like Tamari could pull off the Dare Lion. Tamari could be the Dare Lion that was always in our hearts.
Doing drugs.
Maybe not drugs, but just, being a, I don't know. Whatever else. Oh yeah, then there's and then there was the knockoff suit too. The DH Gate AliExpress version as well as the official suit. It's amazing.
Did he buy one of the suits?
No, I think somebody else did, and then he managed to get a picture of it. But yeah. Anyway.
I still wanted to have a furry con just for the off suits.
Meet and greet. AliExpress fursuit meet.
Yeah. Cheap and greet.
I still would have loved a panel of just all of those suits.
Like, okay, right, particularly, you walk into the panel room. It's like, right, it's one of those panel room configurations, not like a circle, but everyone is like sitting forward, like as if there's a presenter. But you walk in the back, and as soon as you open the door, they all just slowly turn around and look at you.
No, I want them to all
They're
be
all just like-
I want them all to be facing towards the door, so when people walk in, they just see them, like they're hosting the panel.
Yeah.
Has any panel ever done that? Like any new person that's coming into the panel room is actually where everything else seats are like facing. So it's like
We really wanted it. We have this ongoing joke on my Discord server about making a panel where you're judged based on how many Twitter followers you have. It'd be like a Popufur panel or whatever, which there is actually a like Popufur meet and greet panel that Jesse ran for a while, which was actually it was actually a lot of interesting stuff. It was good stuff like learning how to deal with like being popular in social media or how to talk to people that you look up to in social media and stuff like that. It was like a cool meet and greet thing. But aside from that, we had a separate joke that like when you enter the room, you would be like, well, hey, well, hold on. In order to get, let's see your Twitter. And like we would like look at it or whatever. And then like you could combine your AD Twitter followers with your regular Twitter followers to try to get above the threshold. And then if you were under the threshold, sometimes we'll let you in, but then you have to like sit like further away or something. It's like stupid, like completely like just for shits. Obviously, we would never actually do it. But
you just have assigned seating like 4,000 and above.
Yeah, it's like if you have that many.
10,000 above.
Yeah.
100,000. You have like a golden seat painted.
And then like how popular your Mersuit account is. That's like another factor.
I've never even thought about it. Like, which furry has the most Twitter followers?
Probably
fandom.
Kage. I would assume either Kage or
I don't
one
think
of those
so.
people.
I actually doubt it, because there are a lot of furries who are in the fandom without knowing the whole like
I
leadership.
mean, he's at 21,000, which definitely is not the most I've seen.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I don't know.
think about furry artists that caters toward like general furries, ranging from like 13-year-old to like
What's Fox More at?
40-year-old.
Fox some more is at 32, so that's more. And then
I just deem him champion.
Jib, try Jib.
oh yeah, Jib's probably gonna have a lot. Let's see.
The trashiest thing we've ever done on the show.
Not that any of this even matters. Yeah, Jib is the most, 89,000.
It's
Yeah.
like his contents are
He gets the golden throne.
Yeah.
his contents are geared toward.
Would it be like a
general
chair,
furries.
like not like the Game of Thrones, but it'd just be like, I don't know, like tweets, like just a bunch of Twitters.
Yeah. Let me see what this one is. What was Jib at again?
I don't know.
80
yeah.
something.
Yeah, Majira's up there as well. Ooh, I wonder what two furry bros. What two furry bros is? Let's see.
I don't even know
It'd be
who they
Foofy.
are.
11K. Okay. They're one of my favorite furry YouTube channels. I love Foofy. He's awesome. He makes like 10-minute videos of just booping people at cons and stuff. He's great. Sonic Fox says 214. There you go. Anyway, let's stop talking about how many people follow people because it doesn't actually fucking matter.
You know, back in my day, people were judged about the FA page views.
FA page views.
Wasn't that a thing? I remember, what was it, followers on
Dude,
FA?
some people have bios on FA that are so long you have to scroll like 2 pages just to get to the art.
Wasn't there a website that told you which the FA and like the lists of like who had the most followers at FA?
I don't remember.
I remember there was like the ranking list. This was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
You had like ranking by like comments on items. And then didn't someone break that because they added a bot which would just add everyone to their...
No, that wasn't page views. That was friends. Safaro made a bot
That broke FA.
Yeah, what it would do is it would friend you, and then it would, it would follow. That was what it was. It would follow you, and then follow every person who followed you and every person you follow.
Oh.
And it was slowly ran through the list. And FA actually acknowledged it, and it ran. And I think for like a couple days, it ended up following like a good, like over 100,000 users or something like that. And then I think eventually FA killed it because it was like starting to break shit.
What was the purpose of that
I
experiment?
don't remember. It was just for fun, basically. It was just Safaro being a purple fox.
You get so much nostalgia going through like people's FA.
Really? I don't see it.
Huh?
This FA nostalgia?
Yeah, FA nostalgia.
No, VCL nostalgia. VLC.
Yeah, VCL was such a rough website. Oh my god. I remember when you'd search the website, you had to wait in a queue for your search to complete. That's the level of like...
Okay, that's beyond my time.
Yeah, VCL
Get
was...
on our level, okay? We existed before FA.
Okay.
The best that I've seen is...
Is VCL still up? Which was funny
I'm
because
not sure.
I hated the
There's
fact
also Internet Furry Proximity Locator. I think my favorite that I've ever seen, though, is a friend of mine pulled out one of the original Macintosh PowerBooks, which had a black and white screen on it, right? It was one of the first Apple laptops.
Yeah.
And I opened it up on the desktop, and there was furry porn on the desktop. It was a file, but it was text-based because it couldn't really do images, so it was just ASCII art of furry porn, and I was like, holy fuck.
Did you have to size the window correctly to see the photo correctly too?
I was like, that is next level. And it was Chacket art too, which was great.
This one time I was hanging out with like...
Here, there you go. There's the link.
What? For what?
VCL art.
I mean, I could have just Googled it.
You
As far as
could've.
I'm aware, it does exist. Yep, here it is, VCL. Don't everybody go to the website. We might crash it. Welcome to VCL, the largest furry anthropomorphic artwork story library. Signaling the slow crawl. Oh, good. In 2014, they said their website's nice and stable, so that's good. Glad to have an
I
up-to-date.
think traffic might be down a little bit since my time.
Yeah, I feel like the might be down a little bit. Let's see. Let's search. Can we do a search? I'm gonna search for centaurs. Error. Something bad happened to the search. And
Did you look at the search protocols? I don't think you just search that.
Can we? Let's see. Search via built-in search. This is beta code.
Try the Google image.
Try them. So I'm gonna search centaur with Google. Oh, and then it pulls up a bunch of Yeah.
Oh,
They
that's
disabled.
within VCL.
Okay.
They disabled their search and just had to
So
Google.
that if I click this and then click this. Oh yeah. So here we go. So now we can actually browse. Yeah. Pretty neat. I remember VCL.
Wow.
Sort by date. Like what is the
Last
Last update 2001.
I think I saw 1990 something.
Yeah.
1996 June.
1996, 95, 94. 1995 is the oldest one. Let's see, page 1. They don't have anything on their page though. But it was 1995. Oh, nope. We have images. Hey! That is some 3D video game thing.
VR chat in 1995.
Yeah, this is some nice... What is this?
Can someone just make this into a VR chat room?
That is some... This is Rancor Furry on... Here, I'll work on getting this in the FurCast Telegram chat if people want to check that out.
You're gonna crash the website, Paradox.
Yeah, we're probably gonna crash the website here. 1995. All right, hold on. So let's go back.
What's the newest?
Let's go back.
You can sort
Let
by
me do-
date at the top. Look at the date.
No, you
Sort
can't.
by-
No, you can't
press it. There's
you
no
can't click
function.
it.
No, up above. No.
Oh, sort by date here.
There you go. Yeah, hit
Well,
that
hold
one.
on. Let me just open the 1996 one. Fur on paper. Oh, it's a proper furry
cute.
porn from
Pointless
1990.
nude number 1.
Titless nude number 1. It's pointless nude number 2. What else do we have? Oh, there's a badger. That's pretty cute. That's cute art. Let's go to page 2 or page 1, I guess.
They have bats. Nope.
Tiger.
Yeah, it's a tiger.
And he's drawing with his paws.
It's pretty cute. All right, so now we'll do the sort by date.
Wow,
2019 is the last thing on here. Somebody named Swift. Well, good on you for posting some stuff.
What month? October.
October. Let's go. So if we go all the way back. Wait, is this every artist loaded onto a giant web page?
Yep.
Holy shit, it is. Yeah, so we were right. It was this one, and then let's go back to this one, 1996.
Oh,
Wow, that's some
spunky.
kinky shit. Oh my god,
no
way!
We found it! We found the original database!
It's the original fucking wow.
You're welcome.
The original rats that are on John Oliver. For audio listeners, we just found the original fucking pieces that were posted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Such old art. So good. Yeah, Biohaz. There it is. 1996 that was posted.
Did you go to page 2?
Let's see what else is in here. So 1995. Oh, so there are stuff that's... Oh, I see. So this is the last updated thing, but people can still have pieces that are older than that. I feel like, hold on. Can we do artwork? No, that's just new. Can we do... Trying to figure out if there's another way that we can organize.
New artwork. None.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's no art on this website.
Well, nothing new today.
Anyway, that's VCL, everybody.
So go back to page 2 of, the rat erotica.
Artists, sort by date. All the way down to the bottom.
These are
of
the hidden
page.
pieces that, John Oliver never showed.
Yeah, page 2. No, it doesn't look like it's any of the rat stuff. Yeah, this is the same page. And then if we do this...
they're
they're sorted by date and file name. I see. I was misreading that. So that was it. Yeah, there we go.
So are there any other hidden gems in there that weren't shown on John Oliver? There you go.
Yeah.
You're given like the...
There you go. Who's Foxy Crow? 2004. Oh.
That's
Actually,
cool.
some cute art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went back in furry history there. You're welcome, everyone.
This one time I was hanging out with like 17-year-old furry, and I asked him, "Oh, do you have FA?" And it's like, "Oh, I have FA." And he pulls up his phone and opens an app. It's like, "Oh, is there an app for FA?" I remember like having an app, but it was really buggy and glitchy, so I gave up using it. He pulls out Furry Amino. It's like, "Oh, that's my FA." It's like, "No, FA."
Yeah.
Well, do you have your Second Life?
No.
I actually signed up for Furry Amino, but I don't really use it. It's a very busy app. It's fairly
terrible
difficult.
UI design.
Yeah, it's got pretty bad
I still
UI.
remember my Second Life name. Because you had to choose a fake fucking last name when you joined Second Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other old furry thing?
What was your last name in Second Life?
Zidikava.
Mine was Flagstaff.
Flagstaff. Can we read this article? We were supposed to read a news article. We got very off track.
We were traveling through furry history.
I know. We were traveling through
We
time.
took a time machine.
I know.
We found the rats. We found the rats. The original rats. Not some copy. That was the originally posted database of rats. You're like, do you feel like you uncovered like an archaeological find right there
Not really, because I had found it a couple weeks ago when I was doing research for that piece.
on VCL?
No, it was just on another art site, but it was the same database.
See, no, yes, that wasn't the original. That was a remake. That was a repost. That's like a retweet of a retweet. We just uncovered the lost civilization of furry right there. The ancient Thunderdome. Back to terrible news. Capital City Furcast convention based off Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in the United States. Actually, it's right near Boozy.
Yep, that's why Boozy's been tweeting about it.
Has just announced closure. This was followed by heavy backlash on social media claiming severe fund mismanagement and deception. After the announcement on the closure, formal staff asked evidence that it was donated to the ALS Association for their first 2020 edition's charity partner. 2 hours later, the convention posted a receipt from the ALS Association and it's stating a donation of $217 US. However, afterwards, many pointed out that the email listed did not belong to the FurCon, but instead belonged to Made For You, a fursuit maker. The picture was deleted afterwards. Subsequently, the convention's Telegram chat was as well as their Twitter account became inaccessible. This led to much discussion and disclosure of evidence regarding the controversy on social media. I mean, not sketchy at all in all aspects of your entire con. Just kind of disappear off the...
Yeah.
There's no red flags.
It's fine. Everything's fine, everyone.
It's fine. It's fine.
100%.
Remodeling. Restructuring. Rebranding. Just all existence of the previous con just completely wiped off. You know, like every con does that every year. I mean, right? When you form a con, then you just close out all of your Twitter accounts. Like, I'm sure Anthrocon, every year that everyone just gets refollows the next year. You make like a 2000, the next year's.
You Twitter page for every year.
So the convention's Telegram chat was Twitter account became accessible. A furry named Dixie tweeted that when she asked CCFC...
Dixie, by the way, well, actually, is she still the manager? I think their manager might be somebody else. Dixie used to be the manager for Fox and Peppers.
When she asked CCFC directly for the donation amount to update her furry convention charity sheet, the furry con told her they donated $4,000 to ALS. However, contrary to that, fur by name Trip Wub on Twitter, who claims he is the former staff member at CCFC, accused the furry con chairman Nitro of not releasing the funds to the charity partner, failing to sponsor rooms for staff and the guest of honor, as well as much money embezzlement. Shadow the Wolf, a CCFE attendee, claimed... I'm not certain. Doesn't Shadow the Wolf staff most cons? I swear he's a fan of the show, but I mean it's Shadow, so I mean saying Shadow in the furry con.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of shadows.
Like Shadow Wolf, there's a lot. I'm sure one brand of
I
Shadow.
feel like there's a lot of ashes. There's a lot of Sparkies. I was discussing that today because my friend was like Sparky, and I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, God, I know like 8 Sparkies at this point.
I know a lot of aces.
Yeah, there's a lot of aces.
Yeah. It's like Chris or John of furry fandom. Or Daniel.
Still the only Pharaoh. I mean, there's Faye V, which she's also a fox and a one brawler.
There's no Maruski as far as I'm aware.
Have you searched that on Google?
There are a few
Google.
other paradoxes out there, but I've talked to all of them, and we've all agreed to not step on each other's toes.
Because if you guys collided with each other,
Yeah,
you guys would...
it would be a paradox. Not a lot of Nerox. Yay, Nerok! You're unique. You're a good boy. Nerok.
The recent YouTube video that the convention has made empty promises to guests of honor. Now, a lot of what happened, and the people told that the guests of honor showed up at the con with a surprise. They were not guests of honor. People were told that their rooms were going to be compensated. Their rooms were not compensated. They were told they wouldn't have certain positions or dealer den spots. Things like that at the con. They showed up and, surprise, surprise, things didn't happen. And also with the staff is not to be blamed for the controversy, but responsibility falls with the chairman Nitro. Everyone out there Please do not harass the staff. Capital City FurCon understood that the staff, they do not have access to the con's finances. They do not have their names on the deals and legal documentations or leases. It's all Nitro, all in his name. I mean, don't you have any leases for Anthrocon? Your staff.
Oh, God. Anthrocon is so disconnected. Anthrocon might as
You
well be
don't
run-
know where all of Anthrocon's money is going?
Not a bit. Not a clue.
You know, you had to take some responsibility as staff.
Yeah. That's the thing is, it's like...
I do remember when people were calling out the staff. Like, how could you? And it's like, I work for free. I volunteered.
How could you work for this company?
How could you? I'm sorry, I volunteered. I volunteer for every con. Out of the 90 I've hosted, none of them have been this bad. There's always one. Another fur by the name of Boozy Badger.
Who's that guy?
Fuck is that?
All
What
right,
kind of
who the
name
fuck
is
is
that?
Boozy? I don't know that
Sounds
guy.
like a drunkard.
Yeah, sounds like I don't know. Definitely not a lawyer.
Yeah. Sent a tweet that some furs told him that the FurCon owed the hotel roughly $15,000 US. In addition to the images of the internal Telegram chat where it was being discussed, he also added that one of his friends who was a CCFC guest told him that the FurCon also allegedly intended to use the charity's funds to pay for the hotel. Currently, staff are seeking compensation, and GFTV will continue to follow the story's developments. Further developments.
Spoiler, there were developments.
After the first of the video, the convention chair has continued to try to save face online, presenting another receipt, allegedly proving that he made a donation to the Pennsylvania branch of the ELS Location Association. However, Boozy Badger breaks down why it is likely that the receipt is provided. It was crafted using an outdated template found on Google Images. The tracking number on the evidence receipt matches the Google Images receipt. The logo at the bottom of the receipt also is an older version of the ELS logo, no longer used on any of their new receipts.
Oh my god.
While the template has a place for a date under the tracking number, there is no date on the con's alleged receipt. The labels on the left margin of the donor's name, street name, and city don't line up with the labels on the right side, when the gap between the city and state values are way too wide as a result of the scrunching. Like how the detailed analysis.
Wow.
Enhance!
Somebody's not good
This
at photo-
looks shopped to me.
It's like, geez, if you're gonna fake like a financial, if you're gonna money launder, you might want to be a little better at Photoshop. Just saying.
Even with the alleged payment, another problem came up with the Pennsylvania furry organization by the name of Keystone Furry Events. Received an inquiry from the ALS Association wondering about the donations from the Capital City FurCon. The two are not affiliated, but given that the convention had shut down its website and social media pages, the organization probably didn't know where else to turn. In the conversation, it was noted by the charity that they had signed an agreement with the convention. If this is true, that would spell major legal trouble ahead for the money raised in their name and was used elsewhere in the breach of an agreement.
And it was a lot of money too. Like some people donated thousands of dollars. Yeah.
So it's like the Fire Festival of the FurryCon.
It is, yeah, basically Fire Festival of, yeah.
The Fire Festival.
Fire Festival?
Yeah, Fire, I have to show you that movie at some point.
Wait.
TLDR, some business dude tried to start a music festival in the Bahamas, poured tons of money and effort into marketing for it,
Yeah.
and got like top tier like Instagram influencer, like, you know, magazine models, everybody to promote it.
Yeah.
There was no concert.
He was doing it all on the fly.
And a bunch of people, yeah, he tried, but he cared more about marketing it than actually running the event.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people literally ended up stranded on an island in the Bahamas with no food, water,
made national news.
anything. Yeah, it was all over the news. It was a couple years ago, and there's like a documentary about it now.
There's memes about it.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's in video games now.
Yeah, highly recommend the Netflix movie. By the way, it's a good movie.
Isn't there a Hulu movie too? There's two.
There's a Hulu one and a Netflix one. The Netflix one is produced by, is mostly interviewing the marketing firms that were involved, and I believe the Hulu one was produced more by the company that actually did it. So it's more like an inside view. But I'm not 100% sure.
What was the one that was interviewing him specifically?
That was the Hulu one.
That was pretty fucking good.
was, yeah. But yeah,
You also saw the level of like sociopathic nature.
yeah.
Was a guy charged?
Yeah, he was.
I don't
believe
know.
so.
Was he?
I know he's not allowed to start a business for the next like 30 years.
That's a
Because it wasn't his
penalty.
first failed attempt at this. He's done
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah. Well, there was like one thing that he did that sort of succeeded. I think it was some like credit card
Nothing
club
succeeded.
thing. But I think it was still kind of scammy, but it was
No,
like
it was still no. You could see the whole Hulu. It's
was it the whole thing was I don't remember.
everything that he did was
Yeah.
literally financing his next project. So all the money from one thing,
Yeah.
even though he didn't have any of the money for it, would just go to the next thing, or he would get people to donate money.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can watch it, Maruski, at some point. It's fabulous. Like
Yeah, the fire festival. It basically
Yeah.
burned. Everything was on fire.
yeah, the Netflix one is called Fire, and the Hulu one is called Fire Fraud. And Riley just put both of the links to both of the Wikipedia.
I haven't seen the
articles in chat.
Netflix one. I just saw the Hulu one.
Yeah.
Literally, just
I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't compare this to Fire Festival though, because to be honest, this wasn't really. Nobody was stranded. Nobody was like it was money embezzlement.
I mean, if you're in PA, you're definitely stranded.
well, yeah, everybody in PA is stranded because as we know, Pennsylvania is an island. But I feel like
Backwoods of PA are scary. You know, it's boozy. If you're drawing the back roads of PA, in your Centralia,
yeah,
based off Silent Hill, literally the hell city that burns underneath, where all demons come forth, that inspired a whole fucking gaming franchise. It's based off of the middle of Pennsylvania.
Pennsyltucky.
Yeah, that's
All right. Are we ready for a quick music break?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go for one.
Sophos says, I feel like I'm obliged to defend PA. Is there really much there to defend? I mean, Pittsburgh's nice. The city in the mountains.
FurCast is sponsored by twintailcreations.com. You can check out their website, twintailcreations.com, to get high quality, durable, carefully made toys for a reasonable price. They have lots of awesome, pretty, and cool stuff. They're always adding to their repository as well. You can also ask for custom colors. You can ask them to kind of surprise you with colors. Some of the examples you're seeing on screen that's what they are. They just kind of surprise you with all kinds of cool and pretty swirls and stuff like that. They also have FurCast colorations if for whatever reason you want the color of our fursona in your butt, which is a little weird. But, I understand some of you apparently want that. But, whatever. I don't judge. I mean, I do judge, but I don't. It's fine. Anyway, you can get FurCast colorations. They ship discreetly in brown boxes. They just say TTC LLC. Same thing with the credit card transaction. They do also ship internationally. We've had a few of our fans outside of North America get shipments just fine. They're also a part of our community. So if you do have any questions or if you, God
I still
forbid,
don't know how
ever
their points work, so don't ask me.
People have asked me about the point system too, and I'm like, I don't own that many dildos. What's funny is we just have all the twin-tailed dildos, so like we don't
have all of them.
Do we get points for being sponsored by them? They should have a thing on their website that just says, and if you're sponsored by Twin Tails, you get points.
I want a tracker of how many favorite blues have been sold, and
Oh, we gotta ask them that. How many people have gotten FurCast. Actually, I kind of don't want to know. Don't tell us. Sin, if you're listening, I don't want to know. Anyway, they're a part of our community, so if you have any questions, you could just ask them in our chat room, and a lot of times they'll be able to answer right in there. Fans are also encouraged to share their experiences, so please, if you do a Twin Tails order and you enjoy especially, please let us know, because we love hearing that people order that stuff. We have an NSFW bot in the FurCast Telegram chat as well, so you can share NSFW photos if you want. So if you want to get really dirty.
There is a Twin Tails group. It's not safe for work. It's not safe for work, but not that safe for work.
Yeah, it's kind of There's also
it's a group chat for. It's like a fan club.
Fan club.
But you
When
could
you
offer
s-
suggestions.
When you say share your experiences, what kind of experiences?
I don't know how it feels in your butt.
Okay.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a bottom, so I don't.
I actually don't own a dildo, even though I bought them a lot.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not fan. What?
That your statement conflicts to me.
Which is funny because I know some
don't
people.
own a dildo because I've bought a lot of them.
No. He was saying because he bottoms a lot.
Oh,
Is what he said. You just misheard. Because the thing is, for me, like, because I know some people who literally cannot get off without a toy. Like that's the level they're at. And for me, I'm a wolf, so I don't have that problem. But anyway,
I like collecting them like cards.
I like, honestly, I just think they're pretty because I'm kind of a nudist type of person. So like to me, the idea of having art that is genitalia is like, I like that idea.
I just want them to continue to sell and send us all the scrap ones so we have like ceiling material.
We have all the rejects that can't be loved. I love that. We're not allowed to name them because once you name it, you become attached.
Oh my god! I just thought of something stupid. You know how the ET game failed so badly that they buried all the games, like physical copies, in the desert somewhere in America?
We were gonna plant them all in the yard, and they're coming up like weeds.
Let's see if they grow. Listen, our neighbors already don't like us. Do we really need to plant dildos?
I will make a.
I feel like we have a pride flag in our house. I feel like that's enough of a first step. I feel like we need to give that some time.
It definitely caused some looks from the old people.
Did
on
it
our
actually?
street.
Like, did they actually talk to you about it? Because like I'm
I
curious.
feel like
'cause-
our old people aren't the talkative type. They're more like the silently judging type.
yeah.
They're more like the, having a conversation in their own private kitchen and going, oh yeah, I saw that thing in the yard. Oh, you mean those people. Which I suppose is what we're doing now. Anyway, Twin Tails also has coupon codes with us, so you can use the coupon code REDWOLF or the coupon code BLUEFOX
If you're kinkier.
to save 15% on the silicone products. And they have more than just silicone products, by the way. They have like little cuffs and cute other things and stuff. And they've also got partnerships with a few other brands that they sell on their website, so you can check that
They
stuff
also
out.
made their fuckable.
Oh yeah, and they have a fuckable. It's actually called, the industry term is insertable.
No, that's a
Excuse
dildo.
me. Oh yeah, I suppose a dildo is also insertable. Fuck, what are they actually called?
Penetrable.
Penetrable, thank you. The industry, actually.
You can insert a assertable into a penetrable.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Anyway.
I said that they needed to send us a penetrable so we could just put one of the dildos on the fuck machine and just have it keep unrailing it and see how long it takes to break it.
Durability test. Real-time FurCast durability test. Oh my goodness.
We just have to set a camera up in the garage and just have it keep rolling until like eventually.
Yeah.
Call it Underwriters Lab rated. UL tag.
UL listed.
Should we just post like a 10-hour video onto YouTube?
FurCast list, yes.
or stream it.
And then you know what we could do? I have a thermal camera too, so we could have a thermal camera to see like if it gets hot, like, and we can test. We could benchmark lubricant. Oh my god, we need to do this. We need to benchmark
A
lube.
YouTube channel just dedicated to testing out lubes.
Yep. We got it. Anyway.
See, this is why Twin Tails hasn't sent us a penetrable.
We'll get there. Benchmark territories, because then not only can we promote Twin Tails' website, but we can also like promote like, look at this durability test that we did. We could even compare it to the competition. That'd be interesting. Battle of the.
God, order another fuck machine.
It's like the machine breaks. The machine breaks before that.
Just makes shitty infomercial of Twin Tail.
Anyway, guys, we'll be back after the Patreon shoutouts really, really, really fast. There's a correction for our Patreon shoutout. Cody Big Cat was shouting out Cody's Customs, but it says in the recording that it was about to open, but it actually did. So the new shoutout is Cody Big Cat with Cody Customs Auto and Truck Accessories. Come see us today at 625 East 1st Street in Vidalia, Georgia, for all your auto accessories. So that's 625 East 1st Street, Vidalia, Georgia. if you guys want to check that out. That's just a correction because the recording is from this whole month of shoutouts, so it doesn't have that updated shoutout. So I just wanted to fix that.
And True wants to make us one of the old time commercial. Has this ever happened to you? The infomercial ones?
Like inserting the dick, like, the lube's dry, it's all black and white.
Yeah.
You need to because infomercial, you gotta just replace the lube with sand and it just pours out.
Yeah, and then it just black and white, and then a person looking at the camera, shaking their head, no. Has this ever happened to you?
Billy Mays here.
Can we have a fursuit version of Billy Mays?
Furry Hayes here.
Or Bully Mays. We'll have a bull fursuiter.
There you go. You have bull.
Yeah.
I think it'd be Bully Hayes though.
Billy Hayes. Wow.
You're listening to FurCast.
Support for FurCast comes from Patreon users, including Shaman the Photon Wizard, Dexy Wexy, Phaon, Barker Jr., Energize the Wolf, Sweetie Darling, Barnaby Fox, Frost Blaze, Anu Fox, Omega Zai, Mullock the Generic Brown Wolf, Cypher the Heckmutt, X the Fox, Binary Pause, Zavarkin, Fireline Coyote, Trinity Werefox, Lord Headcheese, Soatoke, Biohazard, Code Yax, Rain the Wolverine, Fox 777, Fiasco, Red Eye the Rhodey Red Lion, Tukiri, Lieutenant Fox, Calypso Collie the Fluffy Trucker, Mellow Wolf, Rit the Otter, Doxy, Zoopy the Barcode Kitty, Arceus the Tiny Tiger, Horsecode Hooves Up, Alta Shep, Meru Snow Mew, D Otter, Ski Sharp, Nerd Hoof, Zenair the Mutt, Nether Lynx, Frost Wogon, Jeb M16, Static the Scrap Goat, Taru the Yellow-Nosed Doggo, Cronass, Jax the Husky, Fuzzy the Fox, No Name Horse, and Gaia Wellen.
Additional support comes from social media. Twitter users, Commander Wolf 3, Kazuro Fox, Drop Table Foxes, Perp, House Tier, Anti-Blue Fox, Onyx Fox 23, BBQ Skunk, Rivik Wolf 4, John Crescent, Kaz the Dreg, Wolvern 4, Nate Blueberry 13, Bell Platagon, Jared Tamana, Ziv Fox, Cyrus SL, Crossy on Twitter at XSSFox, the other Commander Wolf on Twitter at 4Wolf99, Brother Rat on Twitter at Ratus Spiritus, Zelig on Twitter at Stealthy Dragon, Trashcat Danny on Twitter at Trash Danny, 12 on Twitter at The Lion Thing, Shua on Twitter at Pulsing Panther, Dakota Winter on Twitter at Dakota Wolf 12, Telegram user Sorcerer Dale, YouTube channel Joe G. Bear, and the following websites: macrowolf.com, arihu.com, hack13.me, Superdwarf with anthrolinks.net, and Devin D. Partlet with furryhockeyleague.com.
Additional support for FurCast comes from Shisha Sheppy, who's a good boy. For head bases and 3D printed goods, commission Tar Paw Studios at Alice Tar on Telegram. Silver Moonshine, maker of fluffy tails. Fisk Games, the new furry YouTuber on the block. At AlecGator300 on Twitter, creating pixel arts and being a filthy hybrid since 2012. Tantru, with World and Rue View, providing fandom news since 2015. Honorius, who says, one more cheese joke and someone's getting bored. Spurigs, one of the only Ethiopian wolf degenerates in all of furry land. Bringing you bite-sized, detailed furry history on YouTube as Scar the Fur. Kilo the Protoyote, who says, Jessie is the best kitty. Cody Big Cat, with Cody's Customs Auto and Truck Accessories, grand opening on July 1st in Vidalia, Georgia. Cypher.exe has crashed. Please relaunch with, oh whoa, privileges enabled. Light and Shadow the Wolves, keep furry possum. Patty, who says, what Socks says is true. Socks, who says, what Patty says is not true. A message from @Grundy the Goat. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Dunran, munching those pizzas and writing those tunes. For an invite to the unofficial FurCast Minecraft server, message @Sasha Hyena on Telegram. Shaktro, who says, always keep your head up. better days are to come, and you can get past whatever or whomever is keeping you down. KobeCats.com. Take a bite out of art. We know you're hungry, so come get your paws and maws on a delicious piece of burger priced art. Right goes furry fortune telling on Telegram at Obsidian Fox. Saucy Fox, who says, I'm trash, raccoons, HMU. Checkers the Dragon. Chess is my safe word. Fishmeister Cod, still not a furry since February 2011. Nightly at snouts.online, who says, I want to see this community grow beyond meets and conventions. Permanent furry commune. When? Max Shepard, who has been watching since the Bacon Felony. Little_Sunshine and Scootaloo with the unofficial XBN Xbox app at patreon.com/horseapps. FurCast's #1 wimpy fan, Tyler the Wesky. Shacky, the Maid Lord of Nordic FuzzCon. Visit the Maid Cafe at Nordic FuzzCon in Sweden. Chris Tale on FA, specializing in toonie art. The Church of Bissoir, worshipping Lynx since the year Tuft. Skycorp, creating transformative technologies for mature audiences at skycorp.global. Disc Cookie, creating procedural beatmaps for VR rhythm games. Kuranos, who says circles are quite friendly and nice actually. Techwin, TC Fox and Kaiwana of the Infosec Den in Wellington, New Zealand. Sylvan Scott, Grey Muzzle, Sorta Rider, and Tabletop Gamer, on Fur Affinity as Sylvan, with size-related stories and other speculative fiction. Shadowclaw Studios. Check out our Facebook page for links to our gaming streams. The Feline Support Alliance. In these times of social isolation, you should hug a cat. We don't bite. Much. Also, speak for yourself. I don't bite at all. I'm not into that. Chacket Airlines. We always land on our feet. Silver Gatomon at patreon.com/silvergatomon. Cheetah Paws for a daily dose of bulgy arts. Support him at patreon.com/cheetahpaws.
And a very special thanks to Blaze Fusky and Decibel Fox. Support for FurCast comes through Patreon, PayPal, cash donations, and from listeners like you. To become a patron and learn more about supporting FurCast, visit furcast.fm/support.
This is XBN.
We could have made it. We could have made this whole thing work. We were distracted. Now the world has gone berserk. Just because the flooding lapping in my front door doesn't mean I shouldn't care anymore. Just because I never breathed in the dust of war doesn't mean I could ignore what I saw. On multiple screens, multiple scenes, multiple screens from unknown but familiar faces. Could have been us, could have been us, could have been us. That we've been born in different places. But we're to blame, I'll tell you that for free. But this ain't no game, can't you see it's a catastrophe? We'll be driving foot to the ground, full force into the apocalypse. We'll be driving foot to the ground, full force into the apocalypse. But I can see full force into the, but I can see it's a catastrophe. but I can see that it's tricky to care when no one knows the facts. But I can see that it's tough enough for us to watch our own backs. Do you think there'll be a call to action when we're living in the age of 1,000 distractions? Another episode of an unmissable box set, another tie you're gonna want that's not in the shops yet. And still you know we can't get enough. The third generation addicted to stuff, and our point-based friendships measured in likes will keep us too busy to see when tragedy strikes. But we're to blame, I'll tell you that for free. But this ain't no game, can't you see it's a catastrophe? We'll be a drive-in, full dogs with the ground, full force into the apocalypse. We'll be a drive-in, full dogs with the ground, full force into the apocalypse. But read my lips, the rising heat won't make us wake up. Full force into the, full force into the, it's a catastrophe. Full force into the, full force into the, full force into the, full force into the.
This is FurCast on XBN. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far tonight. That was Apocalypse by the Correspondents, and we have one more track before we come back from break. And by the way, if you like the music we play on this show, I have another podcast in the same studio dedicated to music, and that's where all this music comes from, and it's called Friday Night Tracks, and you can find a link for that at the top of the FurCast website. This is Big Nick. Welcome back. That was the end of Something Big by Big Nick. So I don't know, does that mean he's Small Nick instead of Big Nick? I'm not sure.
He's a micro Nick.
Yeah, he's a micro Nick now. Anyway, that was the end of Something Big is the name of the track by Big Nick. Meanwhile, Maruski is still eating cereal loudly, like he was during the pre-show, so that's great.
You know when like Ace Ventura eats the zebra? That's all I picture when you eat now.
Well, I'm a tiger, so what would I be eating? Gazelle? No, not gazelles. Deers.
I don't know.
Boars.
I don't know.
I think they-
I still gotta fix the white balance on that camera.
I hate this article so much. Just the new term now from COVID.
Okay. Let me just say FurCast is live.
It's gonna probably be a show title.
What kind of music do you want for this?
I don't even know yet. I haven't.
Let's start with this one.
Do our genes make some of us more prone to skin hunger?
Skin hunger.
Like cuddle deprived or more cuddly? Is that what it means by skin hunger?
Yeah, does it mean like touch?
I hate that you got that right off the bat.
Yeah.
You got the skin hungries.
I mean,
paradox.
I don't ever heard that term.
Skin hungry.
But I know that skin to skin contact is like a really important thing.
I hate it.
Skin to skin contact?
Yes.
Oh, and like releases endorphins in most people.
Not for me.
Yeah, Pharaoh likes fur.
No,
Oh, I actually think
I don't like
there's
being touched.
I've actually noticed somewhat of a correlation though. I'm just for the record, I'm not saying this in a judgmental way. Would you consider yourself a sweaty person?
Parts of me, not like pits, like forehead.
Okay, because that's funny. Because I would never say that I'm a sweaty person. Like maybe if I like really work out or like carry a bunch of stuff,
I'm
like
a sweaty person.
my armpits might get wet. And I've noticed that people who would probably say that they are like more sweaty than average generally don't like skin to skin contact.
Do you think it's psychological or physiological?
I don't know, because I mean, I also have had like
skin to skin contact reminds me of like sticking to a fucking leather chair on a hot summer day with high humidity.
See, that doesn't bother me.
That's how skin to skin contact. It literally like.
See, that's
just
the thing, though.
thinking of
I
being
don't-
like
I
having to
don't mind.
pull off of like a leather chair.
Yeah.
That's what skin to skin contact feels like to me.
See,
Like
what's weird to me is
like that.
I don't like if if I'm overly hot, I don't want to start cuddling with somebody. But if I start cuddling with them when we've been cuddling for a while and then we like start to get sexual and then it gets sweaty, I don't mind.
Nope.
But if it starts sweaty, then I'm like,
Nope.
you know what I mean, Maruski, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had hot, sweaty sex.
Yeah.
Like
You and I have had hot, sweaty sex.
Gross.
At least once, I think.
yeah.
One time. Oh, yeah, before we had the air conditioner in the one room.
Right.
Yeah.
It's once in a while thing though. Like I don't like it all the time.
It's definitely not my favorite.
I can't find a phobia for that, but I swear it's like a phobia.
You're definitely not alone. There are definitely people who do not like any kind of skin-to-skin contact.
Sweat phobic.
No, it's
But in
not
Latin-
sweat.
Or
It's the like skin to skin stick.
This is also correlated with poodling.
I hate poodlers.
Yeah, see, I don't mind poodling at all.
Don't fucking poodle.
See, I think it's
Hide your filthy skin.
Yeah, see, you don't like skin. See, that's it. I really enjoy skin on people. Like, I mean, I like fur too, but now I will admit body hair is not really my thing. Like pubic hair, I'm not into that. I know some people are though, but
Yeah, into hairy bears.
no, not my thing.
You're not a hairy berry.
I don't like hair on skin. I like fur or smooth skin. One of
okay,
the two.
here's the thing. Body hair I don't mind, but a lot of people who are dad bods tend to grow body hair. And I'm kind of person who digs twink guys. But if I saw body hair
I would
on
never have imagined that. Ever.
I don't know if you
well.
can necessarily correlate those things. I think it's, for me, it also has to do with, like, do they take care of themselves at all?
Yeah.
Like, there's a big difference between somebody who's a little...
Adi's pretty hairy.
okay.
Adi's a hairy dad.
Okay.
but he's not sexually attracted to Adi.
Who are you? Why are you bringing that up?
Because he has a hairy dad bod.
Okay.
Moving on. Yeah, so I feel like it's one of those things where it depends on, like, whether that person...
I saw Adi's back once, and it scared me. He's like a woolly mammoth.
Completely disassociating myself from this right now.
You don't want to know about, like...
I would like you to shut the fuck up, is what I'd like you to do.
He's got a hairy dad bod.
Wow, you're so funny.
Physical distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic has left many of us craving human contact. The skin hunger. Several months have gone by since some people have had last hugs, and this affection deprivation, also rather strangely called the skin hungries.
It's more than just skin hungries. I mean, I just want to see my friends and be able to hang out with them.
Skin hunger.
I mean, yeah, snugs, hell yeah, but like, I'm not, like, if I can't snug my friend, like, let me put it this way. People were saying that, like, oh, if you wouldn't be able to, like, hug or snuggle people, I wouldn't go to a furry con. Like, because of COVID, specifically, not because of, like, con rules or something. If a con made rules where you couldn't hug people, fuck that. But in terms of, like, you know, keeping yourself safe from COVID, like, would you still visit your friends, but, like, keep your distance and wear a mask? And my answer to this, hell fucking yeah. I would hang out with my friend if it was reasonable and safe. And I've met some people who are like, well, if I can't hug them, then I wouldn't do it. Is that the only thing you get out of hanging out with people? Like, snugs are important. But I feel like I could also, like, go out to eat and play video games and take a walk.
But you get the skin hungries.
I do, but I'm just saying that, like, there's multiple aspects
for the flesh.
To, you know.
Your hunger for the flesh. I love that I clicked on skin hungries and it brought me to another article that wasn't mean to be touch starved.
It's definitely a thing.
But it was like, humans are wired to be touched from birth until the day we die. This is the other article. Our need for physical contact retains being touch starved, also known as skin hunger, or touch deprived, occurs when a person experiences little to no touch from other living things. For example, France was found to be the most touchy-feely places, while the US appeared to be at the very bottom of the list. Whether this is due to the rise of technologies or fear of being touched being used as inappropriate, or simple cultural factors, no one is sure. But studies have found that missing out on human touch can often have serious and long-lasting effects.
You know what I think two of the biggest psychological issues in Western culture are?
American Western or like Euro?
Probably leaning more towards America, yeah.
Okay.
But Western culture in general, as well, somewhat. I feel like the two biggest things are not getting touched enough physically by other people or being able to touch other people. That's one big thing.
Yeah.
That leads to depression and isolation and everything like that. And then the second thing is fuck. Damn it!
Unable to snug your friends?
No. Okay. Let me start over. The first thing is not being able to I don't remember. I lost it. I'm sorry.
Not being able to touch your friends?
No, has nothing to do with physical.
Okay.
Actually, no, it does. Okay. Not being able to touch people enough and not moving enough. Like, I have to go on walks, like, several times a day, as you know, because you always come with me.
Yeah.
But, like, there are some people who literally just do not move.
My comfort is a padded room with no windows.
See, I would want a safe space like that, but I wouldn't necessarily want to be in there.
Space.
What?
It's not my safe space.
It's not your safe space?
No.
Oh, then what is it?
Safe space is, I don't like the term safe space.
Yeah, safe space is a legit thing. That's where your space where you feel you can be yourself, that you are the safest.
I find that to be personal space.
Yeah, personal safe space are usually one and the same.
I like the term safe space.
Okay, well, whatever. They're both legit terms, and they both usually coincide with one another.
I like personal space.
Okay, good for
Your
you.
own personal space.
Okay.
Confirming my differences. Does it only apply to sensual touch? Definitely not. Any or all positive touch is considered beneficial. Losing out on workplace handshakes, friendly hugs, or pats on the back can result in feelings of touch starvation. And then you have the skin hunger. It's like a disease.
I mean, there are people who feel so isolated because no one has touched them in such a long time that they kill themselves.
That's like a utopia. Of course, it does not relate to sensual touching, such as holding hands, foot rubbing too. Ew, foot rubbing. I hate feet.
Oh, I love rubbing my feet against your feet, Paradox.
I don't really care for that.
Oh, really? I think it's cute.
I mean, it's okay. I don't mind it. I'm just saying it's not like I don't depend on it.
Yeah. Just
Scientists have
subtle
found that
things.
nerve endings called the C-tactile efferents exist to recognize any form of gentle touch. In fact, according to a 2017 study, this is what I laughed so hard at, there is an ideal touching speed, which is between 3 and 5 centimeters per second.
Wait, 3 to 5 centimeter per second. So that's like about that much. You're half, maybe 1/3.
3 to 5 would be about this much.
3 to 5 centimeter?
Yeah, it would be about this much.
No, centimeter is like yay big, about half an inch.
Anyway, you'd move about that distance in 1 second. So it'd be like this.
Don't touch. 3 to 5 centimeters per second. So 1, 2, 3. Like,
I don't think they're talking about the actual embrace. I think they're just talking about like the speed
it's
at which
touching
you approach.
speed.
Yeah.
No.
Just like stroking
No,
speed.
the
like,
stroking speed of the
Yeah, like
touch.
that.
You've already made contact with the surface. Now the touch
Oh.
speed needs to be 3 to 5 centimeters per second.
So like,
Like,
this
this is not a good touch.
this is a good.
That's
touch,
too
like-
fast.
Like this.
I actually disagree with that.
It's not ideal.
Okay, that's a good boy putt.
Yeah, that's the problem. See, I'm-
good boy, good
yeah,
boy. But
I get-
that can only last so long. It can only last maybe 30 seconds.
Are you
but
saying I can only be a good boy for a temporary amount of time?
No.
What the fuck?
I can only reward you for being a good boy for a certain amount of time. I
Says
can't-
who? I will be gladly rewarded of being a good boy 24/7.
You want to be pet like this for like an hour straight?
Oh.
Okay.
There's another link to ideal.
What's the ideal touching surface area then?
It's a +1 journal for the ideal touching speed. This is a legit study where people were rubbed.
Please sit
You know
in
what I
this
think
chair.
matters more than the speed at which you rub somebody is the fact that you are both like consenting to it, and whatever.
CT optimal velocity is 1 to 10 centimeters per second.
No, Paradox, I think it's about the technique. You know how some furries that you meet that are young and like new to cuddling, or like you can tell that they're new to cuddling?
I can tell if somebody's not a furry when I cuddle them immediately.
Okay.
It's so obvious.
And I think it's about that. Like there are
There's
techniques
graphs.
that are involved.
Can you just please pull this up? There are graphs.
Okay.
This is a
Wow. That's detailed.
this is a detailed journal.
Wait. What does it say at the bottom? So 3 centimeter per second, 1 stroke, 30 centimeter per second, 1 stroke, and 30 centimeter per second with 10 strokes, and mean IBI change score. So I guess do you know what IBI stands for?
Oh, there's a lot of data in here, though.
You go back, it'll tell you.
Wow, there's a lot of... It's pretty neat, actually, that they correlated all that. I might actually read through this.
This is why you like touch and the correct touching speeds. Don't over speed. The speed limit of touch has been established.
Write you a ticket for going too fast on cuddle speed.
Your touch speed is over the limit posted recommended amount. I would prefer if you slowed your roll. Take that down a half notch. Bring that down about 2 centimeters per second, and we good. 1 block equals there's a block, a rest, baseline relaxation, jitter speed.
Jitter speed?
I love this. I love science. I love how I got to that article from 2 other articles. It wasn't even the original article I was reading. Let me go back to the hungaries. The skin hunger has become a struggle. Just like our regular hunger reminds us that we're not getting enough to eat, skin hunger is the recognition that we're not getting enough touch in our lives. Professor Corey Floyd of the University of Arizona's Department of Communications said in a statement, "Many people these days recognize that as a miss of getting hugs, or they miss being touched, and it's maybe the one thing technology hasn't really figured out yet, how to give us touch yet." Floyd's latest research published in the Communication of Monographs suggests the extent to which women may be feeling the effects of skin hunger is partially influenced by genetics. By study, 464 pairs of adult twins, half identical, half fraternal, the researchers determined that in women, their variability of affectionate behavior could be explained 45% of the time by their heredity and 55% of the time by their environmental influence, i.e. relationships, life experiences, and the media. In men, however, affectionate behavior was not seen to be any little bit heritable.
So it's entirely based on how you grow up?
No, women have heritable...
Urges?
Wait, it was wait, what do they mean by hereditary? Hereditary is like genetics, right? So they're saying that it's not genetic and instead it's how you grew up or something, or it's just random?
Actually, because 45% of hereditary and 55% environmental influences in women.
Okay.
However, in men, there was no affliction to
So it's like a nature versus nurture kind of thing.
No, it's sexes. Men don't have...
Well, right, I know. But I'm saying the difference between one and the other is in nature versus nurture, right? With women, right?
Women, it's like almost equal split.
It's almost equal split. And men, it's entirely...
It has nothing
nurture.
to do...
It's entirely nurture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
These differences are assessed by getting participants a rank of series of statements relating to their affection levels. In genetics, where to not play a role, fraternal twins who share 50% of their genetic material and identical twins who share 100% should be expecting to have the equally similar score, assuming very similar upbringings.
Wait, but I don't get it. Like, I didn't grow up being cuddly or snuggly, but I desire it.
Everyone desires it.
Right, but this article says men's behavior was not seen to be heritable, so it's saying that it's based on how I grew up.
It could be just random, like your personality and like the way that you get close to people that you know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It could be tied more to like, I don't know. See, that's what I'm interested in knowing.
Nobody taught me to cuddle.
That is what I'm interested in knowing is like, why are some people more snuggly than others? And this is interesting that it doesn't seem to be genetic, at least in males, which is interesting, but...
Why this is yet to be a case... Sorry. Similar scores in female fraternal twins. But the research found that the pairs of identical twin females had more similar scores than the female fraternal twins. Why wasn't this the case for men has yet to be fully explained, but Floyd notes that the previous research indicates that, on average, men express a lot less affection overall.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't affect us because we're furries.
So you're not men?
No, I mean, that issue is generally a cultural issue, and furries don't have a lot less of that issue.
There's still a lot of furries that don't want to be touched.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the expressing emotion.
I guess.
At least with everybody I know, I would say that that's less of a thing. Like, compared to the kinds of people I grew up around, and versus furries are way more like, yeah.
I don't know. When we measure people's tendency to be affectionate and be receiving affection from other people, almost without exception, we find that women score a lot higher than men, Floyd explained. There is some speculation that the affectionate behavior is more healthy and supportive for women than it is for men, and that it helps women to manage the side effects of stress more than it does for men. It reduces stress in women, but it can increase stress in men. Human biology is funny. Pointing that there may be partially why women are more likely than men to inherit the tendency to behave that way rather than the tendency of simply being a product of their environment. So yeah, you're basically entirely a product of your environment, Versky.
If you're a man.
Yeah. Yeah, your environment dictates you be cuddly. So therefore you are cuddly.
Well, I don't
You're
know.
in furry fandom. Basically your environment.
I guess. But like...
I was snuggly before I was a furry, though.
And I had desires to get cuddled when I was in grade 10, not being involved in the furry fandom that much. Like, I remember slightly snuggling my bros, and they were slightly uncomfortable with it, but I was happy.
But then your environment still changed to the point where now...
Well, keep in mind, as
but
people are saying in chat, just because you didn't grow up that way, like, from your parents, doesn't mean that it isn't a developed trait, though.
Right.
Traits can develop from all kinds of things, not necessarily, like, your parents or even the people you're around. It could just be...
your environment.
Yeah, other things.
Every part of you is your environment.
True.
Everything that's not your genetic code is environment. So all of your past, like...
Kairana, maybe is this just a straight person thing?
Yeah, they gotta mention their sexualities in this study.
Not that there aren't queer people who aren't snuggly, but just that, like...
Yeah, it would actually be nice if they mention questioned if they're heterosexual or homosexual or bisexual. It would be
or gender neutral.
Yeah,
I'd be very interested in that.
The split between hereditary and environmental influences, I'm sure there's already a study for that. I'm sure you could search it on PLOS. The split between hereditary and environmental influence, however, is not suggested to be exact same in every woman, Floyd points out, nor are your genes limits to your affection levels. Our genes are simply predisposed us to certain kinds of behaviors. That doesn't automatically mean we're going to actually engage in those behaviors, Floyd said. And this doesn't mean that we have no control over them either. Nonetheless, these predisposed to be huggers may be finding physical distancing particularly challenging in lieu of human contact, which suggests that people should pet their animals, cuddle a pillow, or practice self-massage. None of these seem perfect substitutes, Floyd said, but when being able to hug or hold hands with our loved ones isn't feasible or safe for us, we need to resort to these things for better than nothing.
All right, well, there we go.
So do you have the skin hungries?
I always do.
More queer peer reviews.
There's another report from this. But if you don't particularly like being touched, can you still be touch starved? Some people closely link touch with trust. If they don't trust a person, they're unlikely to want that person to touch them. But that doesn't mean that they don't long for the benefits of a hug or a handshake, nor does this mean apply to everyone. Not liking touch is sometimes reported by people on the neurodiverse spectrum and those who identify as asexual.
Fitting. Although I know snuggly asexual people too.
Yeah, if it's snuggly like...
But there's also... I wonder if that is cued in on the term aromantic as well, though. Because there's a difference between asexual and aromantic. And I would bet that the not being touched thing is probably more aromantic than... Well, maybe not. I don't know. And he also, Riley reminds, asexuality is not the absence of sexual desire, it's just the absence of sexual attraction. Yeah.
Like, I'm still a hugger. Like...
Do you think you do the hugs out of courtesy, though?
It could also be a result of childhood experiences. In 2012, the study published in Comprehensive Psychology found that people whose parents were regularly huggers were more likely to hug people an adult.
My parents.
My parents hugged... It's all my parents do. So, like, I literally grew up, like, people would be handshake. I was like, no, brother's got a hug.
Riley says, I'd consider liking, disliking snugs a different attribute. Yeah, perhaps.
Like, I think I've seen my parents kiss, like, 4 times ever in my life. If that shows anything.
Failing to experience frequent positive touch as a child may also affect the development of the vagus nerve, oxytocin system, and damaging intimacy and social skills, although this isn't really true for everyone. How do you know if you're skin hungered?
Skin hungered is a dumb term.
And that should be overly lonely or deprived of affection. You might feel feelings of depression, anxiety, stress, low relationship satisfaction, difficulty sleeping, and a tendency to avoid secure attachments. You may also subconsciously do things like simulate touch, like taking long hot baths or showers, or wrapping up in blankets, or even holding onto a pet.
Vintage Links in chat says, a snuggle.
For your loved ones, give them plenty of positive touch. This can range from gentle strokes on the determined speed factor to the full-on cuddling a few times a day. Avoid associating touch with negativity. Don't pinch or push or do anything that takes away the good feeling vibes of physical contact. Let children be close to you as often as possible. Allowing your child to sit on your lap or gently massage the baby may prompt them to behave the same way later in their lives.
It is kind of weird. I have like heard of and seen parents who like don't touch their kids at all, and it's like that's kind of
What
freaky.
can you do to help satiate your skin hunger? Try out massage. Spend some quality time with animals. Get your nails done. Visit the hair salon. Learn to dance. Go to a cuddle party. Yes, these are real. And no, they're not strange as they sound.
I mean, literally a furry con.
Yeah. But how do normies find cuddle party?
You can also try enlisting help of a professional cuddler instead.
I actually had a high school friend who was a professional cuddler.
Really?
Yeah, got paid like $20 an hour.
Wow.
Or more.
Fucking hate my job. Fucking professional cuddler. Touch all these damn people.
But you don't like touches.
I know. I said I hate my job. How'd you get in it? Pays well.
What did you go to school for?
Cuddling. Professionally. Started with wrestling, but then it got a lot softer. You search professional cuddler on Google.
No.
I want to know if there's any local.
I mean, if you can hire somebody for sex, I would assume you can hire somebody to
No, that's
cuddle.
illegal. That's prostitution.
Not if you film it.
Loophole?
Okay. My point is, you can hire somebody for sex. I'm sure you can hire somebody to start
As long as that cuddler doesn't go below your belt.
No cuddling below the belt.
I mean, you can cuddle below the belt. I'm saying, like, no hensies in the pansies.
Depends on the person. See, they're very intertwined for me. But,
Yeah.
but I'm lucky that most of my friends are the same way. So, like, I'm, you know.
You can get a professional cuddler certification?
What? I'm getting that.
I feel like furries would get that really easily.
Yeah, just have a panel.
Become a professional cuddler by being certified as a cuddlist.
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 That sounds negative to me. Like,
I don't know how that would really work, though, because half of the appeal of cuddling to me is, like, the
It's
emotional...
called cuddlist.com.
is, like, it has to do with, like, the time that I'm spending with that person.
Yep.
And, like, the emotional, like, the intimacy that I'm getting. Because, like, to me, cuddling and sex both are catalysts to achieve intimacy. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And intimacy is what I actually want.
yeah.
Sex is just a way of getting there, and cuddling is a way of getting there.
Yeah.
I gave you
And,
a link.
and so for me, it's like, I don't know if I could, like, cuddle some person that's just being paid to cuddle me. Because it just doesn't feel...
I gave you a link. Do you want to be a professional? Do you want to be this your job? You can be a professional cuddler. You can get certified. Can you just get the certification and not actually use it? Just to have it hanging in your room?
Cuddlist training. What do you get trained in?
Make money doing what you love. Inclusivity is important to us. It's actually...
I can see it being positive for certain people with mental.
Well, no, like it's only $149 to get a certificate in cuddle training.
Cuddlist membership. Get your cuddling profile listed on Cuddlist.com. Huh.
Wait, can you go, let's go
Find
to,
a Cuddlist.
no, can you go to enroll the training? I don't know how furries become a cuddlist.
I'm waiting for the website to load. Oh, here it is. Enroll in our training. You probably have to log in.
Co-founder and creator.
Co-founder and creator of the... what are we about to watch here?
I'm Madeline Guinazzo, co-founder and creator.
I just want my certification.
Cuddlist, founded along with my business partner, Adam Lippin. Cuddlist is a training program and a community of professional support and standards in the newly emerging field of professional cuddling. The core of what we do is to train people to master the ability to be aware of their own wants and needs so that they can show the way for others to do the same. Professional cuddling requires exquisite attention to one's own state while being sensitive to another's. It requires the ability to create safety, respect, and trust. We live in a world that is starving for this type of connection. Many people in our culture suffer from the effects of stress.
There was the documentary on the
anxiety.
bunny thing that was in Vegas, the prostitution thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of their clientele were literally people that just wanted to be cuddled.
They
They didn't want sex. They literally just...
am I the only person that this makes complete sense to me?
Oh no, it makes sense for me too.
Yeah, like I totally get it.
I don't know why you need...
Like-
I like the fact that you need certification for it.
No, I think it has to be cultural shift, not capitalist solution.
Well, I think the training thing I think is more just like learning how to. It's like a safety thing as well.
Like
Because if you're just going to
CPR.
randomly cuddle people, not necessarily CPR,
You cuddlist.
but like
You uncertified cuddlist! You are both uncertified! How dare you cuddle in this house
But I guess-
without your certification?
But it's like, or maybe you can compare it to like sexual education that you get from school. You know, how to
I
understand
never got a
your
certificate for
partner.
that.
But how to understand your partner better.
I never got a
it's like
certificate.
I think it mainly comes down to like learning how to address consent, like having like steps that you can memorize to make sure that you're making a person.
What's the next
comfortable and
step in the
stuff like
training?
that. It was just a video, and then you have to sign up.
What was the
You have
start?
to sign up for their website.
I know. I just want to know what did you sign up for?
What?
What,
You
go
have
to
to
the,
log in. You have to make an account.
Oh, you clicked on it?
Yes, that was what it was here. Yeah, and then you have to.
You know what? When did you guys start your sexual education in school? Like, what grade were you in?
Middle school. So it would have
Seventh or
been which in the U.S. is 6th grade.
Okay, about the same.
7 or 8.
What if you started it out with cuddling education from like grade 5 and you upgraded to sexual education the next grade?
In high school, that would have worked. In middle school, it never would have worked. Like because middle school.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you think a middle schooler could cuddle up to someone without doing something stupid?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
high school,
yeah.
I think it might be a good.
Yeah, just think about that for...
Cause it might actually give a good solution for asexual people who feel out of the
I think
room in the sexual health education.
I feel like we're getting distracted by the word cuddle. I think what's more important is how to interact and be close with people and touch people physically while making sure that they are comfortable and consenting and is something that is mutually agreed upon. I think
Well,
that's
it's not
what's
sexual.
What?
It's not supposed to be sexual.
I feel like
That's
that
still a thing
feels-
with cuddling. You still have to like consent to being touched and to be around and to make sure that
Yeah, but
person
it's
is
not
comfortable.
sexual.
Yeah, but I
What do you mean it's not? No shit, it isn't sexual. So what?
For being a professional cuddler. It's not like a professional prostitute.
No, I still think that if you're going to be doing
But
it
I wish there was
often-
certification for prostitution. That'd be pretty cool. Like you have your certified prostitutes and your uncertified ones. What? I would rather go to a certified prostitute. She went through her schooling.
I know you're
She
joking,
le-
Faye, but I don't think it's a
You're saying you
want
wanna
to
go to
Because like, you know,
I mean, certification is always good. Look at Cisco. How they've existed for years. How many Cisco certifications do you have, Paradox?
Several.
See? How many sexual certifications do you have? 0!
but he's got years of experience under his belt.
See, but that's the problem. He's not certified.
Yeah, and half of what I do at my job has nothing to do with my Cisco certification.
Yeah, and half the people who do things in sex have something to do with sexual certification.
You know, Faye, I know you're saying it out of joke, but I think for progressive countries, it wouldn't be a bad system to have like some sort of education system for sex industry, market, whatever you call it.
Again, for me, it comes down to it's not about sex, it's not about cuddling, it's just in general
Yeah.
being close to people.
I still want my certification to give drugs to animals.
Okay.
Because I want to still give LSD to octopuses. What? And that's only a 2-year certification.
Okay, Faye. That's a waste of 2 years.
No, because then I can legally get drugs to give them to animals.
So you can get horse tranquilizers?
And give them to turtles. It's not to do, it's to study animals on drugs.
Okay.
That's what the certification is for. Because there's scientists that gets paid big money to give LSD to octopuses and then study the results.
Would it be octopi?
It would be octopi at that point. They'd be octa-high.
Okay, I just got the joke.
Intimacy certification. Yeah, I like that idea. Instead of
or intimacy,
because people in chat are saying that the thing that makes them uncomfortable is that you're always tying cuddling into sex, even though often they are together.
Yeah.
First of all, you can have sex without cuddling, and you can also have cuddling without sex. And obviously, some people like one and not the other, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And obviously, depending on the situation of the person. So, I do agree. Yeah, it would basically just be an intimacy certification, like
right.
how to, and like almost like a learning how to consent. I feel like is what it is.
Because like, what if? Because school sexual education systems was based on procreation, and school wanted to educate about that. Whereas if you change it into intimacy class, I think it will be more inclusive and more, more utilizable for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like, or like just in general, the idea of helping people like, because like I feel like a confusing thing in life is understanding like what love is and what relationships are.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And
So you need a love certification.
And no one's really around to help you with that, except sometimes your parents maybe, but a lot of times parents are bad at explaining that, or sometimes kids grow up in a really shitty household where their parents are having a divorce anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I think it should be like the SCTE program where there's like 10 different, like 5 or 6 different courses as you go up. So they have like Tech 1, Tech 2. There's like Sex 1, Sex 2. Then there's like the kinks. Then there's like the extremes. Then there's like bondage and stuff. And then there's like back to like softer play. I don't know how the sex certification would work. There's a lot to cover. There's multiple classes there.
I feel like the relationships one would be kind of a big thing. Like, not necessarily like giving you a definite answer, right? Because like you got to be careful with stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely
You don't want to define, what relationship.
You'd also have a penetrable class too, so you'd have to know which angles. Because you could still break your dick. Little known fact: if you watch Sex Brought Me to the ER, you can fracture a penis.
Yeah, I know.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever fractured your penis?
No. I know because you've talked about it before.
It's a scary thought. And there's no bone in the human penis. So calling it a fracture is kind of weird.
There are bondage certifications. Actually, that is a thing. But that I would assume has more to do with like safety.
Oh,
and rope certifications.
Like pure safety.
Breakup certification.
I don't know. Well, I think...
But I'm
at
saying this as a
we're
joke.
getting to the point where it's almost just counseling and not necessarily...
Yeah, you don't have to categorize everything into like certification. You just having some sort of education or having support line around these human interaction would be beneficial for modern
some kind of
Western
acknowledgement
society.
of it, because I think that's the problem. Is a lot of times other than acknowledging that marriage is a thing, society as a whole, again, when you have friends and when you have parents, right, you assume that it fills in the gaps, but it doesn't always. Yeah, and I feel like in general, the systems of society don't really acknowledge the way that people get close and connect.
Because like those health classes taught me about like, how to have safe sex, how to have consent. Hey, yeah, those are good, but like those classes never taught us like how to solve conflicts that you'll have in a typical relationship and how to resolve issues or how to talk it out and how to feel okay knowing that things are not going to work out.
Yeah.
Because like some people just cling onto it.
I remember when I was in the think it was, I forget if it was health class or like one of my political classes. I suggested, because some person was like, well, how are they with this person if they broke up with this person and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know, they could be polyamorous, and everybody laughed. And I was like,
Natalie, the chose I step away for a minute and you make some food and you come back to you all researching my dream career.
Anyway.
A Cuddlers union?
You guys ready to call it a night?
I'm ready.
I'm ready to call it a night.
Oh, you don't want to know the one about the racist AI?
I really don't care.
Over 1,000 experts called it out.
I hope that everybody is safe and cozy, and also I hope that everybody does get to enjoy the virtual AnthroCon stream, because that's going to be interesting. We've never done it before, and we're going to try, so I hope that works out good, and I hope, especially, there should be lots of dancing fursuited. We'll try to make it fun, and there's a bunch of events scheduled that'll be published in public in a few days, so that should be funny. Cuddlers Union. Straight out a suggestion. Anyway, I've been your host, Paradox the Red Wolf. No show next week because of the AnthroCon thing.
And I've been your Tiger Maruski.
Fox.
You are the only fox. You've been the only fox in the show for a while. When's the last time we had a fox in the show?
Oh,
it's been a long time. How have we managed that? I feel like there's a lot of foxes.
Kale.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kale was around. Was Kale on?
Yeah, Kale was on when Bull had his stupid, like, green thing.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Kale was on for that. That's right.
I have a large territory.
Anyway, I've been your host, Paradox the Red Wolf. Stay tuned for the post show. We might take some phone calls and stuff like that. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.